Breathing in slowly, James calmed himself as he moved forward. A dozen feet away was Kate, a shield in front of her in one hand and a sword in the other. Her armor gave a strong impression of what a tank would look like if it was a person. There was absolutely no vulnerable spots that could be taken advantage of. Raoul was behind Kate, staying closer to the group and protecting his side. Looking to his right, James could see Adam protecting the group's side. "Do you see anything?" Adam called out in a hushed voice, attempting to not alert whatever may be hiding from their view. James shook his head. His chest thumped from his increased heartbeat. They had been on alert for what felt close to half an hour, but there was still no sign of whatever James had thought he had seen. It was getting to the point where James wanted to call out to Mim that whatever he thought he saw was nothing, and they should continue going the way they were going. The problem was that disregarding threats would only lead to them potentially dealing with a more dangerous situation in the future. In the back of his mind, James imagined them encountering monsters and then the thing he saw taking advantage of the situation. If there's something, we need to take care of it now. James gritted his teeth. As if sensing his mind in unrest, Kate said, "We'll figure out whether it was something or just something you imagined." "I hope it was something I imagined," James sighed. Kate turned ahead to look at the group. "It looks like the others have moved, so we can head closer to where you thought you saw this thing." Nodding, James moved slowly further. His eyes slowly scanned the area where he believed the movement was seen. But even after all the time had passed, nothing had emerged. The stirring of branches above him made James look up slowly. He stopped for a moment in order to determine whether something was up in the canopy. Still, after seeing that the other branches were stirring, he realized that it was just wind. "I feel like if the thing had snuck into the canopy, we'd have already heard it scampering up there," James thought to himself. Even monsters that attacked from the canopy were unable to move without disturbing some of the leaves. Some would make less noise than others, but it showed how difficult it was to move silently above them. Directing his attention to Adam, James hissed, "Make sure to check the canopy." Adam gave him a thumbs up, likely also thinking the same thing. He was glad that the canopy wasn't as dense the closer it got to the bottom. The leaves needed to grow where it would gain the most sunlight, but there was still enough that obstructed their view. James may have been tempted to climb a tree and check, but he also knew that it would likely be pointless. "I'd end up making far more noise than being able to see anything with how many branches there are." James let out a sigh. Slowly, walking over to the area in front of them, James noticed Kate raise her shield and prepare her sword. "I'm glad that I'm not the focus of her attention," James thought to himself. He imagined that it wouldn't be a fun experience going up against someone like Kate, covered from head to toe in metal.